You must pay the taxes. But I can't pay the taxes. You must pay the taxes. But I can't pay the taxes. I would pay the taxes, but I can't 'cause I'm in jail. I'll pay the taxes, Scarlet. I've got two sisters. And two brothers, but they don't figure in here. One sister has always been a Gone with the Wind fan. I'm not sure exactly what the basis for that is. I've never asked. I should get on that, though. The other one, I'm not sure if she likes it or what, but she brought it home to watch when I was like 8 or 9. I was way too young. There's a lot of things in Gone with the Wind that a kid's not gonna get. I think that sister's reaction was kind of like, oh, this movie's so long, oh, it's so frustrating. And being a child and very influenced by the opinions of those that I hung around, I adopted that opinion. So whenever Gone with the Wind came on TV in later years, and they used to play it every Thanksgiving or Christmas or something, because it's a holiday movie, I was like, Gone with the Wind is on, it's so long, it's so frustrating. Because I was mimicking her. So probably within my teen years to early 20s, which I'm still in, if you had asked me, do you like Gone with the Wind, I probably would have said, well, I can see why it's a classic, but people who know me probably think that doesn't make any sense. She's an old movie fan. How could she not like Gone with the Wind? I don't know. I can't really explain it. I couldn't explain it then, except that I was like, the story is just so frustrating. Always comes back to that. And, well, here's the big but. I have realized that it doesn't necessarily matter if a story is frustrating. That doesn't always figure into whether or not something is good or something is pleasant. There's a lot of frustrating things in the world, and you like some of them. Every time they've played it on TV in the last few years, I always seem to come in at the same part, the burning of Atlanta, which I'd say takes place about 2 hours into the movie, maybe a little less. And I've seen this bit so many times that it's actually rendered the transformation of my opinion of Gone with the Wind, the movie. Because it first went like, oh, well, it's a classic, but I don't really enjoy it. And then, well, the music is nice. And then, oh, wow, the special effects in this scene are actually pretty good considering it's 1939. And then, cinematography really is pretty great here. It's really nice, the colors and everything. And then, I do like a couple of these actors. And then some of these costumes are just so scrumptious. I just love them. That blue dress, I'd totally wear that. And then his acting in this scene is superb. Until finally I watched it a few months ago, and yeah, we caught it at the burning of Atlanta, and I stayed through the whole thing, even to the middle of the night, and I just felt like I have so many conflicting feelings. My old self says, don't like them, is whatever, psh, classic, who cares, it's not that great, I don't care for it, and then the new me that's like, I love looking at this movie, I could just look at it and look at pictures of it and like, oh, let's look at the setup of this scene and the colors, oh, and yeah, it's frustrating, and a lot of that is because of the story. It's the characters that I have a problem with. But, like, even their flaws and the stupid things they do and the mistakes and the misunderstandings and the shallowness and all that, it still makes for a really fun, entertaining watch. And, I don't know, just the look of everything. I keep going back to that, but I just think that this movie is so aesthetically pleasing. Before, I felt like, oh, Gone with the Wind's gonna be on. Guess we're not watching anything on TV tonight. And now I feel like Gone with the Wind's gonna be on. Do we have any plans or are we free? Now I'm like, they played it in theaters a couple years ago. Why didn't I go? That's maturity for you, I guess. Now, I've got all these other feelings with relation to the book, which I just read at my mother's urging. It was on my shelf, and I felt like, I'm never going to read that. I might as well get rid of it, except it was my mom's, so I can't get rid of it. But then Mom said that she read it like 3 times when she was younger, and I'm thinking, how could she have done that? I tried it once before. I couldn't get into it. I complained that I just couldn't get through all the Southern talk. Well, I tried it again, and it went much better. I actually really enjoyed it. I had all these emotions, it's exciting in parts, it's annoying, it had some really funny lines. Rhett and Scarlet, they're so snarky sometimes. It probably, if you knew these people, you'd be like, oh, I can't stand them, they're awful. But it's fun, and Scarlett O'Hara, you could say, who likes this person? She is horrible. You're not supposed to want to like her. It says a couple of times that women don't like her, and even the men are kind of afraid of her. They're attracted, but they're kind of like, she's scary. She is a dynamic person. She's a force. She's not someone that you're supposed to feel like, yeah, I wish she was my best friend. There's still points where I admire her. The whole Atlanta thing. She handles all that so well, and she is strong, and I wish I could get through things like that. The whole Reconstruction era of the book I found to be a bit of a drag. But then the last 100 pages or so, basically when she goes to see Ashley and he has forced her to look back at the times that she just kept burying, I feel like that is the beginning of the transformation of Scarlett O'Hara. Starting to become likable again, and she goes in these waves, and it's just so fun to track the ups and downs. Like at the beginning, hate her, and continue to hate her, and then something likable about her that comes out, and then it goes away again, and then it comes back, so that at the end you do feel sorry for her when he leaves, and you kind of don't, and you're just like, I don't know, what do I think of her? I'm not sure. And I didn't expect any of that. I didn't expect to enjoy it, period. I didn't think that I would enjoy it as much as I did. I thought it was great. Who knew? By far the most annoying thing about the whole thing, book and movie, is the whole, every time Scarlett is just like, oh, Ashley. Scarlett, Ashley is not right for you, honey. I do think that is something that kind of makes me lean more in Scarlett's side, because here she is, she's in love with somebody that she doesn't even know, and doesn't realize that it's all just kind of in her head, and he's not in love with her, he's not the right person for it all. It's kind of sad. And I really have to commend the people who, I'm sure they're all dead now, the people who made the screenplay, who adapted the screenplay from the book into the movie. They did a very good job. Casting, costumes, location, all of that stuff, and little details and everything, all that stuff that I like. Very well done. But a couple of weird things. Omissions of some characters. And this is probably the only thing that I'm like, why would you do that? Scarlett had a couple kids before she married Rhett Butler. She had little Wade Hamilton with Charlie Hamilton. And she had a daughter, Ella, with Frank Kennedy. Now, I can understand why they cut them out. It's a long movie, and you gotta cut a few things here and there. But it kind of made things seem a little different when Scarlett had a baby, and she was completely ignoring it. There were a few scenes with Wade that I thought were pretty good for showing another side to Scarlett. Definitely for showing another side to Rhett. Humanizing them, or dehumanizing them. However that works. The other thing they cut out Archie, the cranky guy that Melanie takes in, and they cut out Will Benteen, who I thought was the best guy in the whole book.